What's up, everybody? Welcome back and welcome to Monday, December 2nd, day 57 of climbing the mountain. Getting into it, I weighed in at 342.8 pounds, so that puts us just 1 pound more to go before we've completely gotten rid of the Thanksgiving dinner weight. So we're getting pretty close there. It didn't take very long. Um, then I'll move over to blood pressure. So I'm just going to stick with the bicep machine for now. That measured me at 131/77. I just think that taking my blood pressure twice is causing the second number to be high, but I'll just stick with this guy for now. It seems like it's close enough or right on, so that's what we'll do. And then for sleep, I got in 7 hours of sleep, uh, getting pretty close to our goals, and I was looking over the numbers from the past, and there's a lot of times where I'm getting like 3, 4, and 5 hours of sleep, and I've been pretty consistent at 6 to 7 here in the last week or so. So I think I'm getting better there, and I'm happy about that. Moving over into food, ate a bowl of Crispix before I went to work. Then for lunch, we had free pizza at work for being there during a snowstorm. Um, that was probably at like 11:30, I think it was. And then around 3 o'clock, I was still feeling a little bit hungry, so I ate 15 of the honey battered chicken tenders. So it was like lunch 2. Then for dinner, I had wagon wheel pasta with olive oil, and I had a bag of popcorn at some point in the day. Looking at the food chart, went a little bit over on the calories and, well, everything in general. Um, I think I would probably just place the blame on the pizza. I know that I had said I'd swear it off, but when it shows up for free at work, it's hard to turn away. So indulged in that a little bit. Uh, Certainly, if it was more than 2 months ago, I would have crushed that pizza, but just had 4 slices of it, so nothing major. And all things considered, it's not a bad day. We just didn't meet our mark exactly, but still nothing to be ashamed of, I think. And for talking points, I'm going to have my new exercises playing in the background. We did 3 weeks of isometrics, and now Brian's taking the training to the next evolution, which is tempo lifting. And so to begin with, in the back, he's got what's called the Rusin shoulder complex. So the example that he gave me was using bands to do these pulls and stretches, and I do not have any bands currently, so I did the next best thing and MacGyvered some bungee straps to do the trick. I don't know if that's exactly what he's looking for, but I will be speaking with him tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and we'll get that figured out. But just doing 10 repetitions of all these. The first one's just what's called it shoulder dislocate. So you're taking the band or pole or whatever you want to use and putting it behind your head and down to your back, and then doing that 10 times. The second one was a face pull, so I'm pulling those bands in towards my chin just about, maybe a little bit higher, but straight back to there. And then the last thing I did was the pull apart, where I'm stretching the bungee across my body and getting my arms out wide. So again, 10 of each of those for that particular thing. And for all these new exercises that I haven't done before, I'm going to be playing them in the background in real time as I do voiceovers, just so Brian and I, like I said, are getting together tomorrow. We'll be able to look at the film and decide if I'm doing anything incorrectly or what I could do differently anyways. So the next thing that's playing in the background is the Goblet Squat. So I'm taking a 25-pound weight and I'm holding it in my hands like I'm holding a goblet, and I'm going to squat down with my elbows down, and I'm going to try to get those to touch the insides of my knees. And then this is also done at a tempo. So Brian's got a 202 tempo, for me for all the lifts that I'll reference it. He just wants me to lower over the course of 2 seconds, then without pause try to raise up over 2 seconds, and that's going to be for a lot of these new lifts rather than the isometric holds for 2 minutes that I did. So that's all there is to this one. I've got a little bit of time left while the Goblet Squats finishing playing, so the next thing that's going to be coming up are the tempo push-ups. So same thing, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. Problem for me is I'm not very good at push-ups to begin with, and the extra, I don't know what you'd call it, but the doing the tempo rather than like the momentum is really tough for me. Like once I get down there, it kind of feels like I'm stuck to a degree. So the first couple I did, I was able to actually knock out the push-ups, but then it became a little bit of a labor further into the sets. I think, I don't know, this is going to be a tough one while I'm still heavy. There's a lot of weight there to push up, and then also like I've been out of shape for so long, so I'm building that back up. Hopefully the lower weight and getting stronger will make this easier over time, but for the time being it's kind of rough. I will say that in having the uh, clairvoyance of this being yesterday's workout, today uh, my chest is pretty sore and to the side of my arm, so I can definitely tell that that's being worked and that's going to get stronger. So um, it is fairly sore, so I'd say that this is like brand new um, exercise that I'm getting, so I think there's a lot of benefit to be gained here. There's not really much to this one, but I am using my uh, left knee to kick myself up a little bit to get myself into the motion of actually pushing back up, and I think that's pretty apparent, but arms are pretty burnt out from this, so this will be a good one to get better at. Now playing in the background is the offset split squat. So what's going on here is I'm getting down into that lunge position that I have been, only this time I've got a 10-pound weight in my right hand, and what I'm doing is I'm letting my lead leg, or the knee of my lead leg, push forward, and that allows my right leg in this particular one to touch the ground, and then I'm letting my right leg or my uh, back leg lift back up into position. Now, uh, I don't know why I can't read, but Brian has given me a spreadsheet with all the workouts, and for some reason I went into this thinking that I had to do 10 each leg for the set, and they're all 5, so I don't know why I thought that, but the first set I did 10 of each, so there's that, and then this is supposed to be 3 sets of 5, so I just did a second set to cover the last 5 repetitions. this next exercise is the dumbbell row. So I'm taking a 25-pound weight and I'm leaning over a chair, or not leaning, well, I'm setting up the way you'll see, but you could do this on a chair, a bench, or whatever you can get into this position in, or on. And I'm going to take that weight and let it fall to my side, and then I'm going to lift it directly up to my shoulder, and then let it fall right back down to my side. And I'm doing this again at the 202 tempo, so I'm controlling the weight up and down. And this is also going to be done 3 sets of 5 repetitions, and then I'm switching hand each set, so I'm getting both sides done. Then the last of the new exercises that I'm going to show off before I speed everything up is the Romanian deadlift. So this is designed to give you a stretch in your hamstring. So it's part of the motion of a deadlift, but instead of picking up something from the floor, you're starting from your hips, and then you're going to push your butt out in order to lower your knees and to get the bar, pole, whatever you're using, down just below your knees to the point where it starts to create a burn in your hamstrings, and then you would stand that back up. And that is also being done at the 202 tempo. Um, just things to keep in mind here. One of the major goals is to keep your back straight, so you always want to have that um, direct line between your butt and your neck. As best you can. With me, it's a little bit lumpy, but I don't really. It's my hips and my back and my lats or whatever. But try to keep that as straight as possible. And the main thing is just to not let your shoulders round off. So if you have like a hunch in your back, that's what you don't want, because then if you're ever doing deadlifts and you're doing that, you're probably going to hurt yourself. And so the uh, example that the guy gave in the video Brian showed me for an example is, you imagine like a cat taking a dump. You don't want to be in that type of position. So that's the main thing here, just getting the stretch and making sure form's good in like a deadlift situation.